What's up, guys? Welcome to Home Gym Reviews. It's Patrick. I just wanted to talk today about what type of rack that you should get. So one thing that's one of the most important things about a home gym is what type of rack and how do you know which type you should get? Well, that's going to come down to a few things. So one of the main things is how strong are you? If you're a beginning lifter, you're probably not going to need anything too heavy duty because you're going to get stronger, and over time you could potentially upgrade. And another question is, how much space do you have? So if you have a lot of space in your gym, you don't really need like a ton of attachments because you can just buy different pieces of equipment and you won't really be limited to that. But if you are confined in your space and you don't have much, you should probably get like a 3x3 rack where you can get different attachments. As a beginner, if I was looking, I would probably just look for something on Amazon. Now that depends on your space. So if I have a lot of space and I'm a beginner, I would look for a power cage on Amazon. What's a power cage? It's just going to be like a rack with like 4 points or 4 pillars. You can either unrack from the front or the back of it, whatever you decide. But the reason I say this is because there's going to be like a safety inside of the rack. So there's going to be a safety bar that's going to catch you if you do fail or anything like that. Why is that important? Well, imagine doing a bench press and it comes back on you. You never want to have that, especially if you're training alone. So it's always good to have a safety setup so that if you ever fail, you can just drop it down onto the safeties and you're going to be safe. The other thing is that in a power rack, you can do quite a bit of exercises. You can do like some rack pulls in the rack. You can do squat, bench, and you can do like incline bench, shoulder press. You can pretty much do anything in the squat rack. So it's very versatile for most home gyms. But what I'd recommend is if you're just starting, start off with something like that off of Amazon if your budget's a little bit tighter. If you do have some extra money to spend and you want to get a rack where you can get attachments and stuff like that, look at any of the big 3 for your racks. So Bells of Steel, Rogue Fitness, Rep Fitness, anything like that. Those are some of the bigger companies in North America. So with those companies, they also have a lot of options with their racks. So with Bells of Steel, they have the Hydra series, and there's going to be a ton of options that you can choose from. There's seal pad rows, there's pull down cables, there's lever arms, there's just a ton of things that you can add on to your rack. There's even like leg extensions and curls. Same thing with Rep Fitness. They're working a lot on their rack. They have like a cable system that you can add on into it, several different things. And it's the same thing with Rogue. All the cables, they have like foam roller extensions. But the coolest thing is that if you get a 3x3 rack, it doesn't really matter too much where you get it from because you can always check the dimensions on the website and you can get different attachments from different manufacturers, and then you can kind of just get the best of the best or whatever suits you. So another cool thing that you can look into is squat bench combo racks. That's what I have. Why do I have it? One, there was a good deal, so I went ahead and got that. But do I regret it just because it was a good deal? No. I have people over a lot. So the cool thing about a combo rack is it's very easy to adjust. So you just push the lever up and down, and you just pick the height to whatever caters to you. So my girlfriend and I, there's like quite a height difference between us. So anytime we work out, it's very easy. We just have the numbers that we set up and just move it up and down. So there's not really interference with our workouts, and we can both work out on the same rack, which is great. The only downside to a combo rack is it's not the most safe. If you drop the weight back, the rack can actually flip on you. Like this bottom portion here can come up and just knock you over. But one great thing about this strong arm combo rack in particular is that it has a weight plate holder, so it's not going to flip on you. Generally, a combo rack, you shouldn't really be concerned too much about it flipping unless you're using heavier weights. Then I would always get a spot, heavier being around 400 or so. But just because of the design of this rack with the counterbalance, chances are it's going to be pretty slim if you do drop it. But as always, try not to dump your weight. But the good thing is it's very easy to set up bench inside of it. You can also do some other exercises, like you can do shoulder press on it, you can do incline press, pretty much all the same things. It's going to be a little bit harder to do like a rack pull or anything on it, just because you're a little bit limited and you can't adjust it too much, or you can't do like a low rack pull. The other thing with a combo rack is there's really not too much that you can add on to it. It's just going to be one purpose. So if you have the space for it, I absolutely recommend it, especially if you have friends over. It's a very easy thing to have in a home gym. The only thing I would not recommend looking for is half racks. Unless you're very tapped out for space, this is a much better version of a half rack. So the half rack only has pillars on one side of it. And often a really big problem with a half rack is that the spotter arms are too small. So you're either going to drop it on your floor, which could cause damage to wherever you are, or if you fail, it's going to go forward, and just stick to like a pure power rack. So what would I recommend to each person? If you're somebody that has friends over a lot and you're constantly needing to adjust the height, probably go with a combo rack. You're going to be safe anyway, because you should always have a spotter if you are having people over. And it's also good enough to spot on your own. Now, if you're more confined with space and you want to take advantage of attachments for a rack, go for a full power rack, because that's going to have a lot more functionality for you. And if you're kind of tight on a budget or something like that, I would just go towards an Amazon rack. It's still a safe rack. It's a little bit more cost effective, but you're not going to be able to put too much attachments on it. Just make sure that whenever you're buying your rack, you look at the weight capacity. The larger the weight capacity, even if you don't lift 700 pounds, it's still better to have that, because it can mean it can withstand more. So that's one of the most important things to look for. Thank you for watching the video. And if you have any questions about anything or any type of rack, or maybe you want to pick my brain about anything, comment below. I'd love to help you out. And if you have anything else you'd like me to talk about, just let me know below as well. All right, it's Patrick from Home Gym Reviews. Thank you for watching.